Hello, hello. What is it with my bitrate? I'm dropping frames like crazy. What the heck? Hold on. Give me one sec. Let's ping Google. I'm oscillating pretty hard between like really good ping and like really bad ping. So I guess my ping is just really weird right now. That's why I may or may not be dropping some frames. Weird. Look at that. Minimum 6 milliseconds, which is ridiculously good ping. Maximum 53 milliseconds, average 22. I usually average around 10 milliseconds since I'm at a... I live in one of the big data hubs. Your internet stuff. So it should be like really fast. Hold on, let me check a few more things. So we go to OBS settings, stream. Yeah. Like I'm in. I'm on the correct data center. But I have dropped like a pretty good amount of frames. Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. We're gonna get going anyways though, and hopefully, you know, it'll fix itself at some point. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to the stream. We're gonna get going. Something that's kind of fun is that... Oh no. Just watching me drop more and more frames in OBS. I'm at 3.5% dropped frames. Oh no. But yeah, new emotes were unlocked. Very cool. I went with 2 C words. So we have Team Yo 1, chocolate. Because aren't allowed to have the word poop in your emote. So that's just fancy chocolate. And then there's the chinchilla. These are both from the Ludum Dare game that I made. So that's fun. Those are my 2 favorite ones. Definitely my 2 favorite emotes that I made. I think they look alright. Also went ahead and did like the channel point stuff as well. I know it's been a little bit where I've had access to channel points for a little while, but I just never got around to actually making the sprite for it. So now there it is. It's numbers. How neat. Mostly just a bunch of zeros though. We're going for something that's a little off-putting, if you will. Alright, so face tracker FPS. There's a few bugs that we can fix really quickly. As they say, low-hanging fruit. Let's get rid of this. I was kind of looking through the code right before the stream, just to see if there was something really easy for me to fix. So, this is in drop-downs, by the way. Git diff. What's the diff? There's the tracking stuff. Yeah, most of this stuff doesn't really matter. We can actually roll this into the previous stuff. Yeah, I might. Anyways, here's a bug where your face tracker FPS is just kind of ignored. Thought it was kind of weird until I realized like that is just a symptom of me restructuring how everything is kind of laid out in the program. So this is part of the config manager refactor, I think. Yeah, so tracker FPS, it should be using this value from the config manager, not this hard-coded value, but it does. So let's do this really quick. What does my log look like? Talking about our logs live on stream. Very gross. Start work on drop downs. Okay, this is fine. So git status, git commit all. We're gonna fix up this, aka squash, git rebase, interactive head to fix up. I know there's a better command to do that, I just don't remember what it is. There we go. So let's git check out. Master, git check out new branch, fix FPS, fix tracker FPS. Okay, so what should happen? Well, one is that we don't actually need face tracker FPS. Well, I mean, we do. This is a bit tough. I need to think about how I want to restructure this. So if, this is the tough part with pieces of code that aren't, like I need braces. It's really hard for me to tell where this code block ends. So this is this code block, which is the upper if not listening, else blah blah blah. We don't need the pass at the very end either. Yeah, I don't think I need this. I already do some type checking initially, so we get rid of this part. We can just grab all of this and push it down like so. Oh, you know what? Let's really quickly, before we make any changes to this branch, git status, git restore utils. All right, git check out. Master. Let's go to. Hopefully I don't have anything. Okay, yeah, this is fine. I was gonna say anything that was too revealing opening Chrome, but it's fine. Let's see, OpenC face GD. Let's merge this pull request. I think I'm just gonna send it. Yeah, so what they did here. Modified options. Oh, is that like a, I'm looking at this again. Modified options. Do I even use it? Oh, that's why this is kind of broken on, that's why this is kind of broken in Linux. That's funny. Alright, let's send it. I think this makes sense. Merge. You know, merged. Thanks for the PR. Send it. Look at that. And it's just that easy to get your name added to a somewhat okay sized project. So let's get pull master. Pretty easy. And we'll go git check out. Fix tracker FPS. We want to rebase this on master. Here we go. That should be fine. Here we can actually take out this part once again. That's what I was trying to fix before, but then I got confused as to what I was actually doing. Which, you know, very common occurrence. Now, face tracker FPS, we can get rid of this. Now we just need to fix all the errors. So we just need a local value here. So this is face tracker FPS, which is some sort of string, is equal to at manager cm current model config dot tracker FPS. And that's an integer, so we need to string it like so. Yeah. Why am I changing this to a float? It's very weird. Yeah, so we can do, let's do this. Kind of move this around, reorder everything. So if the FPS is too high, like that, yeah. If it's too high, then we just want to return. Very easy. We can do if OS is debug build, or if not. Wait. Yeah, if not OS is debug build. So if you want to run it faster than 144, if you want to start the face tracker greater than 144 frames per second, I guess I'll let you do it. Only in debug though. Yeah, I don't know why. You know what? No. I've decided no. You don't get to go faster than 144. You know what? Yeah. I've decided I will not let you go faster than 144. Executive decision executed with impunity. Alright. So grab this. We no longer need this variable. Look at that. How nice. So that should be fine, and it should work for all, or at least for Windows and Linux / OS X. And by OS X, this means like the Intel Macs, not the other ones, the M1 Macs. I have an M1 Mac, but it will not work on, you know, regular stuff. The newest, latest, and greatest Macs. Mostly because the face tracker won't work. I am working on a project that's forked from this one called VSS. Also headed by me. That is working on having multiple types of tracking backends. So I am working on like a mouse tracking backend, which to my understanding, that's what vMagic Mirror does, or allows you to do somewhat. I think the difference between my implementation and theirs is I think theirs uses something like it's more of like a controller, like a gamepad type control scheme, whereas mine uses a mouse logger, which could be a bit scary. Fix how tracker FPS options are passed. Nope. Go up. Alright. Push U origin. Fix tracker FPS. Send me. We'll go back to here just so that everyone's in the loop in terms of what I'm doing. Compare and pull requests. Starting to lag a bit, but that's fine. This is the biggest stuff, is that I've taken out pretty much like an entire bit here. So now it looks drastically different, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, everything is like slightly messed up, if only because I've moved it back one indentation level. How nice. And I have moved this from down here to up here. Yeah, that's fine. Create pull request, and then we're just gonna merge it. Send it. Pull request number 46 I think this should... No. This was on my list, but I didn't file an issue for it. Yeah. That's fine. That will work. Delete the branch. Go here. Git check out master. Git pull. There we go. Then we do git branch delete fix tracker FPS just to do some cleanup. What are the branches I have right now? So I have drop downs, live 2D esque models. That is something that I am working on as well. My own custom implementation of, I guess, the live 2D style things. Because I have a pretty good idea of how I could make that work. It'll be a bit jank, but I'm pretty sure it will totally work. Right, so live 2D, it's tough, right? Because the way they do the kind of like image transforms is pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool. I would not have thought of it to do it like they did. So they use like Bezier transforms, so Bezier curves, and they just kind of allow you to draw your own curves, as far as I understand that. Whereas Godot does not Godot does not have that functionality built in. So if I wanted that, I have to, you know, basically re-implement Live 2D without actually looking at the Live 2D code, because Live 2D is closed source. So instead of doing that, what I figured I could do is use Godot's Bone 2D transforms. So Bone 2D, if you want to do it programmatically, it really only gives you, like, I guess, an up, down, and a left, right transform. But it also lets you assign multiple skeletons to the same image. Ooh, and you kind of see where I'm getting at here. So I can, like, I can make it so you can like slice up your, you know, your square image into multiple smaller skeletons with their own transforms. And so we can kind of approximate a live 2D style thing just by, you know, modifying different parts of the same square at different rates. Right. I think that will work. I think that's kind of a novel solution. a simultaneously like a novel solution and also a lazy solution. Because obviously like the best way to make that happen is to, you know, like actually implement it, right? Look at the Live 2D implementation, the C++ implementation, just implement that in like a Godot native library. Because I'm pretty sure like if you just did that all via GDScript, it would be very slow.
See the stars.
Yeah, just using multiple skeletons on the same image might work to do Live 2D. Something like Live 2D. Not exactly Live 2D,
See the stars.
but something close to it. Anyways, what was I doing again? I was doing drop downs. So drop down element, and I was also working on making this, I guess, kind of fancy, right? So right now, when I start the application like this, should work. Yeah. So we go to tracking, camera select. So that more or less works because we're hooking straight into, or it's kind of built into the thing here. Oh, hello, Feldy. How are you doing today? Wednesdays are usually shorter streams. So I usually work on something else, but too burnt out to work on anything. You know, I was working on, let me just show these emotes off again, check that out. So now we have, I think it's these 4 emotes for tier 1. Look at that. But the new ones are the chinchilla and the poop. but you're not allowed to call it poop. So I called it chocolate instead.
See the stars.
Those are just ripped straight from my Ludum Dare submission. Because I thought they looked pretty good.
Open your eyes.
You can check those out. That Ludum Dare submission is free and open source. So I'm thinking for this base element, or here's the idea, right? So in this drop-down element that you can kind of see here, this is the drop-down. If you click on it, nothing happens, which is expected because I haven't hooked it up yet. However, the problem is that I kind of have to, and this is completely over-engineering it, by the way. Like, just kind of hard coding the possible binds inside each element will work for this application. But I'm kind of thinking, what if I did this? We did, let's uncomment out this. We'll call this camera select. Camera select. And then what this will do is it will give you an array back. Whoa, wait, hold on. Yes, it'll give you an array. And then just run all of this stuff, basically. And so when this dropdown has an applicable data bind. Yeah. So when this dropdown has a data bind, so if data bind is just a string. If data bind not empty, then we'll do containing view. Containing view can guarantee that it has a script, and then we'll be able to reflect into it. So has method data bind. Oh, you see where we're going? If containing view has method data bind, and because it's interpreted, we can just call these. We can just call the data bind as a function and then get something back from it, which is just phenomenal. I think the problem is like how I'm going to handle, how will I handle return values? That's the hard part. Because there's not a great way to do this programmatically. So I can make an assumption as to what it will have. So let's do this. Let's take it out of drop-down element. Go back to base element. So we see here, base element has a string, the config data. Look at that. And then in ready, is ready. I don't really remember what is ready does, but that's fine. Oh man, that's tough. So we can store, we can store the outputs here. So in ready, right? So we call ourselves is ready. I need to look up what this does again. I believe is ready is called somewhere in, not here. It might be here. Is ready? No. It's somewhere in like the GUI's main setup function, right? One of these. I don't remember. I'll have to do a grep later and find out where I actually call it. But here, if there is a data bind, and I can guarantee that I'll be setting the data bind because, you know, this is the ready function. Here, we're not even adding it to the scene tree yet, so we'll never call ready, which is good. So I can guarantee that this will, I guess the order of operations is correct. Then if the containing view has the method, Or I guess we can do if not containing view has method. This is one of the patterns that I like, is just checking the negative case, and that'll be one indentation level deep, as opposed to, you know, doing an if else and then you kind of guarantee that you go one indentation level deeper. This one keeps us on the same indentation level for the happy path, if you will. So if not containing view has method, then we'll hit it with an app manager. Log message. Think containing or view this name does not have method this thing for element this thing. Yep. Then this will be containing view name. Method will be data bind. And then this will just be our own name. Yeah. Nice. This is an error. So if we ever run into this in the editor, it will also cause us to pause, which is good. Now, how do I want to hold on to these values up until I can actually use them, though? That's the hard part. That's the hard part. We can have like a data bind setup data. So it'll be some sort of dictionary. We'll initialize it as an empty dictionary. So if not data, wait. Wait. Can an element have more than one data bind? No, right? Yeah. Oh, and actually, this doesn't even matter, right? This shouldn't be an error, because for most of these things, the data bind doesn't have any custom logic. And I'm trying to avoid having just another XML constant to add to it. So label updatable, listen for self, I'm not a huge fan of either. Events is fine. Data, yeah, everything more or less will have data. So this doesn't make any sense to have an error case for this. Because pretty much nothing will have a corresponding data bind method. I could have another attribute, which is like, you know, has function, right? And then if has function is yes, then it will look for that data bind. And the reason why I'm making it the, you know, like the data bind name as opposed to just like a generic setup function is because multiple elements will be reading from the same file. So I can't just call like setup, setup, setup on the same thing. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not going to. No, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe that does make sense. Does that make, that could make sense, right? Does that make sense? No, I think that gets really messy. I think that gets really messy. But that's tough. That's tough. You know what? We're adding a new method. We're adding or I guess we're adding a new attribute. It's called setup. Guess what this does? Call setup. So this function will need to have, this will need to take a parameter, which will be the data bind name, which is how I'll know which elements I'm trying to set up. Well, you know what? Let's just do it on the element name. Why make it so fancy, right? Why make it fancy? If we look at the tracking.xml file where these will these things are all defined. Ooh, you know what? You know what? Never mind. Let's make it the data bind name. Data bind name. Yeah, let's just do it off of the data bind name. If we do it based off of the element name, right? The element name is just a regular title, and so trying to track based off of you know, something that has spaces in it, that's not great. What we do want to do is do setup is equal to true. Huzzah! I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good idea. Although it does need to be documented that the setup function will always try to take the data bind name. And I wonder if it's the... I'm looking at this even more, right? You might notice that... you know what? Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, for all of these, like, the data and the events are the exact same string key. So I was saying, like, maybe, I was thinking, like, maybe I could just get rid of events entirely and then just have, you know, data. However, some of these things don't have events. Some of these things don't have data. So in model, right, we have a list element. There is no event associated with it, just the data. And then the list kind of takes care of its own setup stuff, which I think I will want to refactor as well. Then the right side here, we have a load model button, which doesn't have any data associated with it, right? Because these just, you know, create pop-ups, which then emit their own events, but they're more or less completely stateless. Actually, pretty much all of these are stateless, yeah. All buttons will not have associated data things, right? Yeah. So this makes more sense. So let's change this. Let's change this really quick. Let's do var results. Var results will be... I think this should be a dictionary. I really feel like this should be a dictionary. And then because it makes it easy for me to figure out, or just make an assumption as to what kind of data will be returned. Whereas, should it be, or should I duck type it? That's hard. So if we duck type it, what's the downside to duck typing? Downside to duck typing is that, one, I no longer know, I can no longer assume what kind of data will be used to kind of populate everything. On the other hand, it makes this function like almost like infinitely reusable. On the other hand, it makes it harder to write this file by itself. Right, because this file is actually hot reloaded, so it isn't recompiled. It's not even compiled into bytecode, I don't think. I think it's just raw interpreted, which is neat. You know what? We're returning a dictionary. I think. Should I return a dictionary or should I return a string? Should I return a dictionary or should I return a string? Or not a string, an array. So if I return an array, I can just treat it like a tuple. Everyone loves tuples. Hey. I think let's return an array, I think. We'll just use it like a tuple. So there's your result. we'll return an array. Boom, boom. Return results. Yeah, and then what we'll need to do is do a match data bind name. All of this stuff. Boom, boom. Camera options no longer valid. Oh, and then here, since we're matching on the data bind name, we also need to do this. So tracking XML, we're matching on camera select. So camera select, that's our match. Grab all of this one more time. Boom, boom. Here we go. Camera options will be, actually we'll change that to result. We can get rid of this value here. Drop down element, we'll need to switch it up. Yeah. So get rid of this part and drop down element. Base elements, we'll do, you know, if not containing view has method data bind, then just don't do anything and just assume that it's fine. Or no, right? I added this new field here, which is setup, if setup is true. So we can do, let's see, var should set up false. So we do if should set up and containing view has method data bind. So it's just based off of the data bind. There we go. That's a lot cleaner. That's way cleaner. We're kind of figuring out what exactly I want to do with this code. Then at the very bottom here, I do need to listen for the setup function. So there's just a bunch of setup fields here. I think this is okay though. Setup. So we want to match data XML constant setup to lower. So these are all pretty much like kind of the same stuff. So it's almost like a very YAML style leniency. So in YAML you can do uppercase true, lowercase true, and then you can also just pass in yes or no. I think doesn't YAML parsers will also let you just use like 0 or 1 for no and yes, respectively. 0 or 1, no and yes. I think that's correct. And then false, no, and we just don't handle this basically. I don't know why I've bothered to retype this. Maybe I just like to type. Maybe I'm just a madman. Do the result should set up is equal to true. There we go. Or wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. That doesn't... Hold on. Setup true. Why can't I just put the name of the function in here? You know what? That makes so much more sense. Yeah, let's just put the name of the function in here. Yeah, okay. Set up cameras, right? And we'll have a function in here called like setup cameras. There will not be, I guess each one of these files needs to have a setup function if it has a setup function. And I do need to change how this thing works then, right? What does the setup function get called, by the way? Oh. If it has a script, okay, yeah, that's why I don't want to just call setup. So setup needs to be its own thing. It cannot be this. Yeah, okay. I need to document that somewhere. but it won't be now. Set up cameras. So this will give back, pretty much everything will always just give back an array. So array is equal to return result. There we go. This one will do nothing, by the way. We can do all of this. Go. Yeah. Set up cameras will give you back an array, and that's okay. Data bind setup data, or data bind. Let's call it setup data. Setup data. Some sort of array. Yeah. And then each element can only have one setup function because it doesn't make sense to call multiple setup functions for the same elements. I mean it does, but I'm not gonna let you do that. We'll do containing view. Call. Hold on. I'm doing these all kind of at the same time, which is not good practice. Set up function. If should set up, and containing view has method setup function, then call setup function. Phenomenal. Wow. And then we can just assume that it'll give us back the value that we're looking for. So any and all setup functions must give you back a tuple in the format of an array. Yeah. The more things I program, the more I'm kind of like the idea of tuples. I don't know why though. So if data has XML constants set up, I guess I don't even need like a should set up, right? I just need the check to see if setup function is not empty. So we do this, and we do if not setup function empty and blah blah blah, right? Then here, if data has XML constant setup, then we can do result.setup function is equal to data XML constants setup, and then this will give us back this value here, which is called setup cameras. Setup cameras is defined in tracking.gd, which is of course hot reloaded. Or it's hot loaded. I think it should be possible for me to actually hot reload it as well, which is bizarre. It's probably an anti-pattern, but whatever. The thought of being able to do this amuses me. And really, that's all you need in life. Tracking, yeah, this should be fine. This setup function doesn't need anything, or shouldn't have anything, right? This pretty much always needs to be a void function. I don't really know what we'll do here. All I do know is that there must be a setup function inside of it. Yeah. So we can add some comments really quickly. So, you know, here's a note, view, or hold on, no, not on view. If defined, the script must have a setup function defined. And then setup, you know, if defined, the script must a function that matches the past name, the past value for setup. Yeah, There we go. It doesn't really show up when we hover over, unfortunately, because it's not like it's not a real enum, I guess, but it'll do the job. Actually, will it? That would be really cool if it did show up. Yeah, I didn't think so. That would be a really cool feature though, because I am just using these as stuff. So I think that should work. Yeah, the setup data, and then here, if setup data, then what do we want to do? If setup data, which basically just means like if this is not null, because right now this is a null value, then we'll do for option in setup data, pop-up menu, add item, option. So let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. I think this should work. Please work. Tracking, camera select. It totally works. Huzzah. And then if we change this, I need to have a button for like completely reloading the UI. It's not hard. Pretty much all I would need to do is do this part. I would need to rip out this. Yeah, I would need to rip out all of this code, and then just make it like attached to some button, right? And then that button will be hooked up to all that. So we would basically just wipe all the views. Yeah, I would need to have some function to wipe all the views away as well. Otherwise, we'll be doubling up every time we press the button. It would not double every time. It would double the first time, and then it would just increase by 0.33, repeating, of course. Second time, increase by 0.25. The next time, so on and so forth. That's an interesting idea, though. Yeah. You know what? I've convinced myself. Let's do it. Let's do it. Base path. What do we do? XML files to parse. This is also a local variable. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, because this lets you add in more XML files at runtime. Neat. Let's do it. This is such a weird idea, and I'm here for it. So this one we can do, I guess, read, where this is basically just construct from XML. No return value, and then just slap all of this here. Right? Construct from XML. So one of the first things that we do need to do is go into, yeah, just get children, get all the children, and then just yeet them. We don't want them. So add child, that's fine. Pop-up, yeah, that's the pop-up stuff. Yeah, and then this is all. Okay, cool. So what we can do here, construct from XML. First, we want to clean up all children to prevent. It's not really a memory leak. It's just, I don't even know. Would that be a memory leak? I guess that counts as a memory leak, right? Prevent memory leak. Nope, not that. For child in get children. Child Q3. Yeah. So construct from XML. That's our new function. What am I doing? Grab all this, comment it out. Then we'll do construct from XML. Or I guess this should actually be called like construct view from construct views from XML. Yeah. And then we can have another button in the app settings. This is completely unrelated to creating drop downs, but I love it. App settings. We'll have another signal. As you can see here, I did not end up refactoring this into a pub sub, because with the pub sub I was, you know, I made the pub sub and then I started making all the keys into like an enum. Then I realized like that's pretty much just what this is. It's pretty much the same thing. There is no difference if I make all the pub sub values keys. I think I'll leave today, get some sleep. That's fair enough, LD. Thanks for tuning in. Your watching support, always appreciated. Take it easy and good night. Let's see, this will be... Yeah, this is like a refresh views, or reconstruct views. Will not take a value. And you know what? I'm thinking at this point, since most of these, pretty much all of these, I don't, maybe it is worth it to still have a broadcast function, instead of just doing a raw emit. Because that's kind of what these are for. So I could just do like a raw broadcast for bone toggle, or I could do, you know, the raw signal, but we don't call the raw signal. We always call just broadcast. And then these broadcast functions will always take the same value. It doesn't make sense though. Yeah, I think I'll need to refactor this as well. So just refactor to get rid of this thing. And instead we'll just emit with these deconstructed values. I think that makes more sense. Yeah. But before we do that, let's just keep doing it for a little bit. I'm very slowly figuring out a good way of doing up, I guess, the mailbox pattern. Okay, so in app settings.xml, well, with view licenses, then we can have another button. This button will be named name, reconstruct views, event, reconstruct views. I think that should just work. And then I just need to handle it. I think I just need to handle it. Yeah, for now. I think something I would like to do as well is maybe have maybe move all of these handler functions into just these, I guess these like hot reloaded files. That might be kind of interesting. So that this entire application is like just like an ultra plugin. Pretty much the GUI is completely plugin based. That might be kind of cool. Actually, I don't know if that's kind of cool, but it actually sounds a little terrifying. SB connect. This one will be here, reconstruct views, self, and then on, reconstruct views. Yeah. I think I am liking the idea though. Now that I've said it, what if we change it so everything is just a plugin? That would be kind of sick. Let's go into app settings. On reconstruct views. This will just call the one function, right? Construct views from XML. So in theory, this should just work now. Nope. Hey. Attempt to call deferred in base previously freed instance. Hey. When did it get freed? Oh, it's because of the button bar HBox, right? So if we go to our GUI, yeah, okay, hold on. So I made a mistake here. Clearly, don't need to tell you that. Okay, so I need to free everything except for the button bar. Okay. Easy, easy. Do I have access to just the button bar? Where is it called? Button bar. Yeah. So let's go to here. If child is not button bar, then just free it. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. Right. So tracking, camera select, nice. Look at that. And then if we go into tracking.gd, change this to just be an empty array, go to app settings, press the reconstruct views button, right? Whoop. Oh, okay, so that didn't work. Look at that though. Oh, is it because they get added to the... Oh, I need to clear out the button bar as well. And then we... Okay. Hold on. Who wrote this? Okay. GUI views. Alright, so there's a few things we need to clear out. We need to clear out GUI views. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Wait. Huh? Wait. What? GUI views. Yeah. Yeah. Base view. Oh, you know what? If we just do this is a much easier way of clearing them all out. Instead of just doing kind of a raw, you know, for each, and then just queue freeing all of them, we can do for value in GUI views values, we'll do value.queueFree, and then after that we'll do GUI views clear, right? And then GUI views, yeah. I think that should handle everything. So we do add each view as a child, but then I also cache, I guess, their position in the GUI views array, so I can easily toggle them as well. Yeah, I think this should work. I think that should work. Please work. So we go look at tracking, right? Camera select returns nothing because that's how I configured this script here, right? So we change this back to return results. Go to app settings, reconstruct views. So does it not? Oh, because the button. The button is like a completely separate thing. I always forget. I always forget the button there. Okay. So boom, 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 boom. We also need to go inside of. Let's see. You know, what is it called? Save. Go back to GUI. Button bar HBox. So button bar. For child in button bar HBox. Get children. We'll do child Q3 as well. I think that should be okay. So let's change tracking back to return empty array. Run this. Doesn't do anything. Boom. Go to tracking. Camera select nothing. Expected. Reconstruct views. Okay. Yeah, that breaks. Okay. So hold on. Let's see. What if we just free them? So we can do this synchronously, I guess. I think it's always a little scary when you are doing things synchronously. I think it's okay though in this instance, since we're just yeeting them. Oh, hello, Rogue Nation. Thank you very much for redeeming a hydrate. Remember to stay hydrated. Do you like the channel points icon? I've finally updated it to be an actual thing. How are you doing tonight, Rogue Nation? I apologize. For a while I was calling you rough, like Rogue Knight or whatever. But no, it's Rogue Nation. I was reading your name again in the Discord. I was, oh, that's how you say your name. Like, all right. But tell me if you like these. How do you feel about these emotes now? These are now all of the tier 1s that are available. Look at that. You might recognize the last two. I didn't realize I just had 2 emote slots open. So you have the 2 ducks, the 2 ducks. Then there's the chinchilla, and then Team Yo 1 chocolate. Because you are not allowed to have poop as one of the emote names. How interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we crashed. What the heck? What happened? Oh, look at that. Dumping the backtrace. This is just a hard crash. Neat. Yeah, I don't know. Hard crash though. Hard crash. So I know how to get around this. We just change this back to queue free, right? And then we hit it with one of these. So that is interesting though. That is interesting. Or I wonder, is this also something that I need to do? So do GUI views clear at the very end. So let's do like, these must use queue free or else we hard crash. Which is, that's cool. That's cool. So we'll yield get tree, idle frame. Hopefully that'll work. Remember the comment on your Ludum there that you thought I said? I finally played the game. Oh really? That wasn't you? The writing style really reminded me of you, but I apologize. I was wrong. How did you like the game? Was it fun? 'Cause, 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 Was this not you? Were you not the person? Like this is someone from chat. This is someone from chat who was around as well. But I don't know. It's because of the I don't know. I think it still is you, but we can pretend it wasn't. It's the ellipses. The ellipses give you away. But we can pretend like it's not you though. It's alright. If you say so. Ooh, takes a little bit. Look at the camera select, gives back nothing. Then we want to reconstruct views. Ooh. I guess that's fine. Camera select still gives nothing. I think I do need to rehook everything up again as well. I think that's another problem, is that some of these things kind of block. There is an order of operations here. These things are related to each other, which is unfortunate. I enjoyed it. Lots of people chat in Discord. Possibly. It is hard to say, since it was anonymous. Anyways, check this out. Camera select. Oh baby, look at that. We can hot reload. We can hot reload pretty much everything. The problem is that these fields don't come with it, which is tough. Because I think, how do preset things get loaded in? So there's the presets. Or I wonder, oh, I need to call setup GUI nodes afterwards as well. Where do I call setup GUI nodes? Let me see. But yeah, thanks for playing the Ludum Dare submission. In any case, Rogue Nation, much appreciated. I worked hard on it. Definitely some places, or definitely a lot of places where it could be improved, for sure. But you know, it was pretty good for just 28 hours of work. Let's try this one more time. So we load in everything. Takes a little bit to load. Camera select, we have these things. We can go into this file here. Just change this GD script thing to return nothing. Reconstruct the views. That doesn't seem right. Reconstruct views. Something isn't right here. I mean, we're able to do this. So the data that they give back is different. However, I'm not able to do all of this stuff. Am I getting some errors somewhere? No. On reconstruct views, that's what this button does. Reconstruct views. So construct views from XML. And we go to main screen. Let's see. Yeah, so it waits for setup completed. And it does all the rendering changes as well. Huh. What I guess we just need to yield one more time, right? So we do get tree, idle frame. Maybe that will work. So if we just load into here again, I'm not gonna change anything. Right. We'll reconstruct views. Okay, cool. Look at that. Is it getting darker, by the way? So those are the buttons, and then these are the things. All right, so this is kind of what I'm going for. Oh, you know what? Presets did not load in properly. Okay. So how do presets load in? Presets are one of the things. Presets are one of the list elements. So what the entire point of this was is that I'm making this file. This file is actually completely separate. It's loaded in at runtime, which means during runtime you can also just change it. So right now it gives you back like an actual result. This is my webcam that I'm streaming from. That's getting this kind of facial tracking data. But we go to app settings, we click reconstruct. You can see here that I've just changed it to give me back nothing. How nice. I think here it's failed. Oh, you know what? It's failed to load in the... It's failed to load in the other stuff. A setup completed. Huh. Set file to load. Does this still exist? Set file to load? Set file to load? Oh, that's horrible. I'm thinking. You know what? Well, I'm thinking I'm also going to refill my drink. I'll be right back. Hello, hello. You know, over the past 2 days, I've been drinking more beer than usual, aka like any beer at all. Not really a beer drinker anymore. It's a lot of calories. And also, I feel like I drink a lot more as opposed to something like just hard liquor. Hard liquor, drink it slower, if only because it just hurts more to drink. Although I don't drink the super cheap stuff. Not to sound all bourgeoisie, and all that. But I do make enough now so that I don't have to drink liquor from plastic bottles. These bottles are actual glass. I'm thinking. Apply rendering changes. Set up GUI. List element. So in this function, set up GUI nodes, we call node in get tree, get nodes in group GUI group node setup. The list element has this thing, clear details. Hurricane beer is cheap, so the big Russian ones all in glass bottles. Well, I've never been to that part of Europe. Actually, I've never really been to Europe at all. I've been to Frankfurt a few times. I've never been to Eastern Europe. Yeah, no. American beer though. Cheap American beer is pretty much just water. So I do actually know like a surprising amount of people who just like to drink, you know, Miller Lite, Bud Lights. If only because like it's really easy to drink. It just tastes like water, or like kind of bitter water. which is kind of gross. IMO. Let me see. Alright, Coors Light. Coors Light is gross. I hate Coors Light. Coors Light was one of the cheap beers I will not. I will try my best not to drink. Like, I feel like Coors Light is, like, offensively... like... I don't know. Like, Coors Light doesn't taste like water. It actually has a taste, and it tastes bad. Like, I'll drink a Heineken. Heineken's kind of a... It's an okay. It's okay. It doesn't taste horrible. This is not a good beer for sure. But Coors is gross. Maybe it's just because I have bad memories of drinking a lot of Coors during college, though. There's like, you can drink Coors Light, you can drink Natty Ice. Or is it, it's not called Natty Ice, it's like natural ice or something like that. But that one is also like offensively bitter. Offensively bitter, but also like unaggressive, which is a really weird combination. So I wonder, are these actually loading in? Let me try this again, and we can set a breakpoint. So look at this, everything loads in. We have the presets, we have everything. Then we go into list elements. So screens, GUI, elements, list elements. GT, founders is better, strong and coffee flavor stout. I'm not a huge fan of stouts. Coffee stouts, especially. Coffee, anything that tastes like a coffee, not hugely into it if it's also alcoholic. like imperial stouts, ugh, just horrible. Like, I get it, you know, you want to make something that's really strong tasting and also has like a really high alcohol percentage, but I think at that point I'd rather just drink like gin. just let me drink like, or just let me drink like just straight whiskey at that point. Like, actually, what I'm drinking right now is just straight gin. So I'm not sure how degenerate that makes me. Probably makes me pretty degenerate. Alright, so let's do this. Reconstruct views. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so it skipped it. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's weird. Da-da-da. What is our data bind? Mapped bones. Okay. Match data bind. Mapped bones. Wait, that's right. Yeah. What? Wait, what? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. You drink Aviator gin? You know that one that... Yeah, I've had Aviator gin before. I'm not a huge fan. I mostly just drink Hendrix. Hendrix, that's a good one. There's the Beef Eater. I'm not a huge fan of that one. What's up? Bombay. Not a huge fan of that. I feel like those actually have too much taste. I like the kind of more neutral taste of Hendrix. Anything to really fuel my alcoholism, apparently. No. There is one, it's kind of hard to get in the US, especially after a lot of the pandemic stuff. I've stopped seeing it on shelves, but it's called Death's Door. Now that one's a tasty one, and it was cheap. At least cheap for where I am. The taxes are pretty high. But like Hendrix, for like for one handle, which is like I guess 1 liter. I still call them handles from my college days. But you know, a handle of Hendrix, that's like 20, 30 bucks. You get a bottle of Death's Door. That's like 16 bucks. And it was tasty. Probably why they call it Death's Door, to be honest. Huh. So I am reconstructing these. There's something weird going on here. Something weird going on here. Something very weird going on here. So we construct views in XML, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Am I adding them to the appropriate group? Am I not? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. GUI group. Oh. Wait. No, that's fine. Hey? You fan of Grey Goose? Grey Goose is okay. Grey Goose is vodka though, right? Yeah. I think all vodka is more or less the same to me. I don't know. I think that's one of the few liquors I can't really tell a difference between like good vodka and bad vodka, except how it makes you feel the next day. Like if you take like 10 shots of Taka. Maybe I had Taka vodka. Let's not expose where I live, by the way. Look at that. Never had Taka? That makes you feel just absolutely horrible. You can filter it though using a water filter, and it won't hit you as bad, but then you might as well just buy, you know, Grey Goose. Yeah, Grey Goose. Vodka. Yeah. But I don't know. The way they all taste is kind of the same to me. Smirnoff is bad. Ciroc is okay. Goose is okay. Never had Taka. Yeah, you don't want to have Taka. You don't want to have Taka. Ciroc. Yeah. I've had Ciroc. Yeah. They all... I don't know, man. I don't mind Smirnoff. I'll drink Smirnoff. You can do way worse. I've drank a lot of Smirnoff though. Let me tell you, drink a lot of Smirnoff. And actually, it wasn't even just regular Smirnoff. It was the flavored crap. Cause that's, you know, you're taking shots. You know, no girl wants to take just a straight shot. You know, you want to flavor it a little bit. Make it easier to guzzle down. I don't know. It's like you're not supposed to swish the shot in your mouth. You're just supposed to drink it really quick. So I don't know what you're doing. Sprite and Smirnoff? I don't know. If I'm drinking a mixed drink, I think I'd rather just drink like a gin and tonic. I'm like I have a very vanilla taste in mixed drinks. Gin and anything, pretty good. Whiskey and Coke. Rum and Coke. Actually, rum and Coke is kind of gross to me now. I drink a lot of that. And it's not very good rum either. But yeah, no, when you're out partying, people don't usually drink mixed drinks. Usually you're just, you know, you're out, you're dancing. Song's over, head over to the bar, buy a round of shots. Then you take the shots, then you either go back in, continue dancing, or you step out for a smoke break. Those years were just horrible for my lungs as well. R.I.P. lungs and liver. Yeah. Smoking cigarettes, not even once, man. There are some days I'm just like, man, you know what would really hit the spot right now? A cigarette. This is hard. I'm not seeing where this is failing. I'm not seeing where this is failing. Because the problem is, or is it because these are, no, these are just all synchronous add childs, right? These are all synchronous add child. Yeah. Yeah. Add child, yeah. Yeah. These are all, oh. Maybe this one needs to be add child as well. No, that doesn't make any sense. This has no effect. This is just add child, right? Add child, Buton. Yeah. Smoke tobacco or weed wax? What's weed wax? Nah. It was mostly tobacco, cigarettes. Yeah. Lots of American spirits. If you were a bit cooler, you smoked Parliaments. Which I think Parliament's the classic American like artillery cigarette, artilleryman cigarette. Because I think they have a little space at the very tip of the thing, right? And then I think you can like put some dip. I think that's what it's for. Is like you can put dip at the very front of the cigarette and do something with it. I don't know. There's something that. There was some fancy thing that you could do with Parliaments. Some people knew some fancy party tricks, but I was just like, I don't know, man. You know, you drink some alcohol, smoke some cigarettes, call it a night. Not a huge fan of the devil's lettuce, if you will. Not really my kind of thing. Have I done it before? Possibly. Not sure where the statute of limitations falls on that. All right, cool. Look at that. I think it worked. I don't know really what I changed. What did I change? What was the big change? I guess there's no more idle frame. This is now synchronous. What did I change? I don't know. I have no idea. Something changed, but I'm not sure what. Right, but we can look at here. Camera select gives me nothing, right? We change this back to this. So now this should actually give me the real values. Look at that. Still getting the preset values, which is good. I'm not sure what I changed, but now it works. Yeah, so check that out. Yeah. Now for all of the kind of GUI GD script files, these are now hot reloaded in. I don't know why you would want to do this, but also like the performance doesn't really matter of these anyways, so who cares? These are all kind of one-time setup functions. So you have your just base setup function. Doesn't do anything, but you do need to have it. I suppose you don't need to have it, right? I could just do like a one of these. So in the GUI thing here, let's see. We have if base view has method setup, then we'll call the setup function. Yeah, there we go. I don't know how to code anymore. It's okay. Coding is like riding a bike. You learn once, stop doing it for a while, come back to it, immediately break all your legs. Is that just me? I've actually never broken any of my legs. I've actually never broken any of my bones. I've like sprained lots of my joints before, but I've never like broken anything. Surprisingly enough. Even though like I was that kid who would like when you're climbing like a ladder, when I was a lot younger I was a lot less coordinated, so I would always kind of slip through the ladder, and so I just a lot of the times I would just be hanging there just like by my leg. I'm surprised my legs have not snapped into yet. Yeah, ever needed tooth fillings? Yes. Only recently. I think that dentist was definitely lying to me though about needing fillings. So I think what they did was they lied to me like, oh, you have cavities, we need to do some fillings on you. I was like, I haven't eaten candy in forever. Like, I used to eat a lot of candy, but nowadays I don't eat any candy whatsoever. But, you know, drilled into my teeth, gave me some fillings. My blood pressure was way too high to get the normal dose of painkillers, so that also like sucked a lot. Yeah, that's probably the worst thing that happened to me after smoking like cigarettes during college. Right, because nicotine raises your blood pressure, or it raises your blood pressure because it makes your veins smaller, something like that, right? And so now I have the blood pressure of like a 50-year-old. So I've been trying to cut out a lot of caffeine, not cavities. I have been trying to cut out the cavities as well, mostly because I don't really eat all that much sugar anymore. So did you ever break bones? Teeth are bones. Yeah, I mean, sonic cavity detector? I don't know, man. I guess I did break bones, but not in like how people normally associate breaking bones. Like I've never broken any bones that weren't my teeth. Well, actually, no. My teeth didn't break. Like, my teeth didn't split. They just had cavities. I feel like you can chip a tooth, and I guess that would more fall under breaking a bone. But I've never broken a bone. I've had cavities, so I've needed to have my bones filled in before. If you want to abstract it out to that level, sure. Yeah, I don't know how they did it. You know, they took the X-ray and they're like, yeah, it looks pretty hollow here. Then they look at it, they took a picture of it, and they're like, hey, this is what it looks like. And I was like, all right, well, makes sense, I guess. I don't know. You're the dentist. I trust that you will not just give me random fillings, but you know, they do have a pretty high rating on, you know, Google and stuff. Let's see. Add ability to hot reload GUI XML file. GUI XML and GD files. So that's cool. Probably one of my more favorite features I've made. It does take a little bit for it to load in the first time, but that's okay. So this is what I've been working on. This is what I've kind of accomplished. So tracking. We can change this, and then there's also a model.gd file, and so we can take this out. You can see here in the terminal, this is a test printed model.gd. Extend this by modifying resources, blah blah blah. Reconstruct the views. Now we no longer get that little message in the bottom there. Put this back in. Reconstruct the views. It does send you back to the first view because we do just destroy all the buttons, but I think that's fine. I guess now we have the print that's back. Same with mine back in US. Sent me back $500. Yeah. I mean that's how they get you though. That's the state of US medical system. You know, if you don't have insurance, you're screwed. Yeah. Because it's all a racket. They're all in cahoots with each other. Right. Like you can get insurance. Like something that people don't really know is that actually, like, if you have insurance, you actually give up a lot of your rights. I guess after something happens, right? If you choose to use the insurance. So for example, if you are in like a car crash or something, and you choose to take an insurance payout to help pay for a new vehicle, you give up your right to sue the other person for damages as well. Then it's up to the insurance company. And then since everyone in the US is required to have car insurance, guess what? The two car insurance companies just make a deal with each other. And that's pretty much it, right? So it makes it really simple, but you're also going to get the least payout possible unless you really fight for it. Or possibly even like no payout. Alright. So I think this is neat. This is neat. So how this is defined here is my entire GUI layout is just defined in tracking.xml. Here we have our new drop-down elements. So you can kind of see when I start this up, we go to the tracking page and then tracking options, right? We can see here under the right container, there's a label named tracking options, right? And then there's a drop-down. This is the drop-down. With data camera select, the event is camera select, and then also the setup function, which is called setup cameras. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but what it does is it looks inside of this file here, script tracking.gd, but you can call it whatever you want, as long as you set the script here. So look inside here for the associated function, it will call it. And I'm thinking, I'm making the API just always return arrays. I think that makes more sense. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then you see here that we kind of handle it just like that. So if we have setup data, then we'll add it to the pop-up menu, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah. Or I wonder if I should actually change it at this point, right? So now we can make it so this element here no longer needs to know anything about I guess this setup function, right? Because here we need to assume that we have some data that we want to send out. But what if we did this? We made setup cameras, take in a base element. So base elements are panel containers. So these are just controls, right? So base element. You know what? We're not doing that. We'll do just the elements. We can call it dropdown. Yeah, and then we can assume that it will have a pop-up menu. So this will be, well, this is passed by reference, right? So this is just the pop-up menu, right? So this will be some sort of pop-up menu. You see where I'm going with this? So instead of even needing to do this part, you know what? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It might work actually. Hold on. Because the problem here that I'm seeing now is that we call setup, or we call the setup function here in this ready function. So the order goes superclass ready, and then the regular class ready. So it goes through this function first. So we won't actually have access to this pop-up menu. And I'm trying to make this as generic as possible. So let me think. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, because we're calling it in ready. I wonder if there's like a post. You know what? There is. I was gonna say, is there a post ready? And there is a post ready. There is a post ready thing that we can do. It's kind of a hack. but I know this will work. Although I'm not sure what the order of events is, right? So we can do this. We'll do, I'll connect to our own ready signal, self, and then on post ready, post ready, then on post ready. So the hope here is that we'll be able to just do one of these. Yeah. So take out this. So now, hopefully, these elements don't emit 2 ready calls. If they do emit 2 ready calls, then this will be awkward. But I think this should be okay. So this is pop-up menu. Right. Actually, let's keep it like this for now. Grab this entire thing. We'll comment it out, just so we have the original always available to us. Then this will be our element. So we can assume that this will always give us some sort of control, some sort of base element, right? And then we can do we can do var pop-up menu is equal to element get pop-up, right? Take out this. We can just make these always be void returns as well. Then we'll do for option in result. We'll do pop-up menu, add item option. Do you think that'll work? I think that might work. Let's see. I'm interested. Please work. Non-existent function via call in control. Oh, okay. So it needs to have. Okay, we still need to have this part here, this if statement. So this doesn't always. Yeah. This is not always true. Let's do one more time. Non-existent function get pop-up in base panel container drop-down elements. Oh, because it doesn't exist on that one. Yes, that makes sense. And it also, because of how this is doing the loading, right? It's kind of a hot reloaded. It's a hot loaded script. So the Godot editor technically does not know about it, because we're just reading it from a file. Yeah, okay. So it tried to show something, but of course there was nothing to show. So, menu, button, get pop-up. Alright, let's try it one more time. Oh my god, did it work? It totally works. That's cool. That's cool. That's actually kind of neat. Let me see, how many times does this work? Well, how many times does this fire? That's my question. So it just fires once. Neat. So this is 100% taking advantage of how Godot handles signaling. So we connect ready on post ready, and then what Godot kind of does is it kind of like implicitly pastes the contents of this ready function into this ready function. Basically appends it to the end of that, so it doesn't call ready twice. And then now we're here, post ready. posty ready, if you will. Neat. That's cool. Yeah, so this is now the, I guess the API. So you have your just general setup function, which may or may not do anything. And then you can have a specific setup function. And then you just kind of need to know what things each element has. Yeah. But once you know that, it'll work. How nice. So now that our drop-down element is now like super pared down, right? A drop-down element depends on this script for its logic, and this script is not converted to bytecode by Godot. Yeah. I'm having fun. So git status, git commit, add all. Let's see, change how hot loaded scripts accept arguments. Implement post ready function or post ready callback for base elements. One of that. Push it. There we go. There we go. So now all we need to do is, I mean, we can check to see here the, where is it? Camera select. Okay. Is this working? So camera select, right? What I'm currently doing right now is I'm just printing out the value, but I'm not. So I wonder if it's actually working, right? So we have camera select, broadcast camera select, drop down elements, which you can see here. This is not it, this is model. This is camera select, bum bum. Doesn't actually print anything. So on index pressed. Index pressed. Or its accelerator is pressed. Oh no, let's do a print hello, just in case nothing's actually happening. So let's see. So it's working, right? It's working. I wonder if nothing is catching it. Yeah, you know, oh, it's because of this thing, yeah. Oh, okay, so we can just do toggle elements. How does everything happen now? Yeah, it's using handle events. No longer are we using the kind of funky kind of like event middleman solution, which is good. All right, so now this should work properly, I think. So we go to camera select, we should see this printed out in the log. It just gives me 0, which is, I think it's correct. Yeah. So once we do that, we can, we can do, I guess OpenC face GD, OpenC face GD is really the only thing that needs to listen for that, right? So, which one is, this Z value is the camera value, right? I can't really test that on stream, because testing that kind of stuff on stream makes me very nervous that I will accidentally just face cam it, which is fine. I have actually accidentally shown my face live on stream before because of this camera thing. Back when I was first initially working on it, some of that stuff just kind of showed it. How nice. Let's see. It's in facetracker.py. I think camera, C, capture, set camera ID to 0, 1 or video file. Okay. Oh, very nice. Look at that. It's a very nice collection of emotes that you have, for sure. Got lots of chocolates in chat. Okay. I think the camera should not be... Yeah, the camera value, which is 0, I feel like that should be always just set to 0 every single time. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to store the camera value. Unless it does, I don't know. Does it make sense to store the camera value? Right, like this is pretty much done. Now all I need to do is hook up, have something listen for this value and then update it, right? And then it should just work. Yeah. So we go to, let's see, config manager. Does config manager listen for anything? If this has a ready function, yeah, no, it just has a set. Any built-ins? No, it has an init. So we could just listen for certain values. And this is where having lambda functions would be really nice in GDScript. Right, because in GUI, you can see that we have all these callbacks. And so I think if we wanted to have like a really good separation of data, right? So things will handle data where they're stored. I would take out pretty much all of this stuff, right? Because actually, no, hold on. It should actually be pretty easy for me to move all of these values over to the config manager. So just the config manager manages its own values as opposed to the GUI needing to handle them. That could be interesting. Could be interesting. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. I'll change that. And then also, I do need to make the config stuff also more resistant to like missing values. Because right now, if it tries to load from JSON and I guess there's a key it does not expect, it will just absolutely break. So let me see. Load from JSON. Actually, yeah, this should be fine, right? Load from JSON. Or you know what? I should I need to have like a version key on each thing. Yeah. So instead of just having each config file just kind of be its own, you know, just regular file, there needs to be like, you know, if there is a version key, then we know like this is the minimum, this is like the minimum version, or we can make some assumptions based on this minimum version of the config file, right? Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, let's do that. Well, before we do that, we need to make this more resistant to just invalid values. So load from dictionary for key and blah. Okay, so this is easy. Load from dictionary. Load from, oh wait, no. Load from JSON, yeah. So we can do, if not get, returns the variant value of the given property. If the property doesn't exist, it will return null, yes. If not get key, then we'll just continue. So this is just null safety. If the config file is slightly well, this is basically just like prevent seg faulting, right? Prevent seg faulting in export in release versions. Yeah, and then the same thing from load from dict. So if not get, hold on, this is the wrong one. So if not get key, we'll just continue. I don't think I ever use load from dictionary. Oh, you know what? I use it once. Update config from dict. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we need to do the same thing for this one. Load from JSON. And you know what? Let's just make this null safe as well. This is going to take a little bit though, because we can't really do... Oh, you know what? We totally can. Right? We can do for I in property list. Or this is get as dictionary. Wait, huh? Wait, huh? Yeah, it's coffee time, so back again. Welcome back to the world of the living. I am currently trying to make the config stuff more resistant to crashing. So if your config files are corrupted and or just too old, actually what will happen is that the program will seg fault, which is pretty cool. It is my fault that it does that. So because it's my fault, I do need to fix it. Let me see. Dun dun dun. We can do this. For key in JSON data. Yeah. Yeah. And then we can just do, yeah, this is easy. Var data is equal to JSON data key. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Then we do set key data. Wow. Yeah, and then I think the config file values, or at least the metadata values, are a lot simpler. Yeah, the metadata values are a lot simpler than the actual config file values, so I don't feel bad about doing this. Although I do think I probably should make these more standardized, but I won't. What is a seg fault again? Never heard of that kind of error. A seg fault is a segmentation fault. I believe that's when you have a memory access error, right? And so it's unrecoverable because your program just tried to access memory it did not have access to. So instead of, returning an error, the program, your operating system just dumps the entire program. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So it's very uncommon for that to happen. If you never want to seg fault. That's probably like the worst type of error, besides like breaking your computer, but that's very hard to do nowadays. Memory dump. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that what that's what a seg fault does? Seg faults causes program. Yeah. Yeah. That's more or less, yeah. It's when you memory access error. By sending the process a signal, blah blah blah. Core dump. Sometimes a core dump. Memory dump, not like a virus? No. I mean, a segmentation fault, you know, here's the Wikipedia. Raised by hardware with memory protection. Standard. Notifying an operating system the software has attempted to access a restricted area of memory. A memory access violation, yes. Processes will sometimes handle it themselves. Otherwise, the default signal handler will be used, which is usually the error code 1, or sometimes a core dump, which is a memory dump, core dump. Consists of the recorded state of the working memory of the computer program at a specific time, generally when the program has crashed or otherwise terminated abnormally. Yeah. So not like a virus. I mean, viruses can do that, but that's not... I guess that's not what people mean by memory dump. When people say like they dump your memory, it's more in terms of just regular programming. It means that you have messed up really badly. That should never happen. Yeah. So I guess it could be used to talk about a virus. They could just you know, get your application states for whatever reason, but I don't, you know, that's not usually what's happening when we're talking about memory dumps. Yeah, but basically, it's an unrecoverable error, and your OS has decided that your program should no longer run, which is fair. Okay, so we can have... Oh, you know, get as JSON. I need to go back to config manager. I do need to have these both in sync. So we'll do for I and what is it? Get property list if I dot name in all of these. Yeah. So this is kind of some runtime reflection. Very nice. Very slow, by the way, as well. Yeah. So we'll have var result, some sort of dictionary, initialize it, then result dot I name is equal to, is it I value? How did I get the value? Oh, it's that's how I'm doing it. Just gets I dot name. That is bizarre. I don't think that's the best way of doing it, but I know it will work. Yeah, and then we can get rid of this. Right, we return to JSON result. So that should work, right? So pretty much anything, all these values here, model defaults, etc., will be, you know, just automatically packed into a JSON file or a JSON string that I will then save to a file. How nice. Let's see, we'll do var camera index. We'll set this to be an int default to 0, and that should just work as well. Then we go to OpenCGD. OpenCGD needs to listen for one thing. Go to signal broadcaster. Connect. Camera select self, and then on camera select. I'm just making it really easy. So on start tracker, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. Or actually, yeah, I think this is, we can just have this be like a config manager. Yeah, the config manager can listen for this. Yeah, we don't need to listen for it. Right, so in the init function, we can do, so is the config manager loaded before the signal broadcaster? I forget. Yeah, let me see. App manager. Config manager is loaded before the I guess we can just change the order. Like, it doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll try it. App manager, signal broadcaster, connect to camera. What is it called? Camera select. Yeah, camera select. I'm not following the recommended naming conventions, but whatever. On camera select. This is what I do want to refactor everything into, though, because everything is, you know, changed. Everything is handled in their final, you know, resting place, as opposed to having to go through the GUI, and then the GUI needs to know about everything else, which just feels really bad. So on camera select. Camera select gives you a string value. So, and this is in config manager. So this gives you camera index, which is a string, void return, and then this will be, what's the metadata? Metadata config camera index is equal to camera index as, or to int. Right. So that should work. Let's give that a try. And then this one, this will actually listen for, oh no, hold on. I made a mistake. Get rebase master. Get, get diff. Okay, that's fine. Get status, get commit. So what did we do? Refactor config manager, or I guess make config manager safer when reading files. And then we want to get rebase master. Merge conflict, that's fantastic. So we want to use the incoming change for sure, I think. Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh no, these look very similar. No, we want the current change. We want the current change. Yes. Yes, we want the current change. Yes, current change. Was there another thing? What else? This is showing red, but I don't think there's an error. Yeah, that's just showing a deletion. There's no error. Git add utils, opencgd, git rebase, continue. Sounds good. Git status. I think that's okay. Then we'll just hard push it, but that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. I was looking at it, I was thinking like that doesn't look right. Alright, so this is the camera option. So let's see. We'll do string app manager cm current model config. Oh, actually, this is the metadata. Metadata config camera index, which is an integer. Yeah. You know what? Let's just make this a string. I don't care. Why am I trying to be so fancy with it? Let's make this a string. String. And now this is just a 0 in the form of a string. So now we don't need to do any of this. So I can guarantee that the index will always come as a more or less a correct value. And let me add a thing here as well. So not stored as an int, since we can guarantee that this value will always come as a string. Yeah, okay. Neat. And so OpenCGD, if you have more than one webcam running, or you have more than one webcam connected to your computer, so if you have like a laptop, and your laptop has a built-in webcam, but you have a fancier webcam hooked up somewhere else, the idea is that you should be able to pick between the two of them. So if we run the code now, you can see here that it will break. Very good. Let's move these back around. So if we go to App Manager, why am I talking like this? Signal Broadcaster. Just kind of flip them around. Yeah, okay, so something kind of broke. Huh? Wait a minute. Huh? Why did it break? Why did it break? Is was there an error in parsing the metadata stuff? Begin loading config for exports.json. Huh. That doesn't seem right. Something doesn't seem right here. Something doesn't seem right. Load config is set as current. Full path, model path. That doesn't sound right. Yeah. So why is it trying to load in something that it doesn't exist? Right, so this is the duck, model path. Config name, nothing. Metadata config has model name. What is in my model metadata config? Oh, is it because it didn't load in the config data yet? Hold on. There's a problem here. So we go into setup or load metadata. What happened? I made a few changes and now we're not loading the metadata properly anymore. So begin loading metadata, sure. File path, app config JSON. If not, no, we have it. We have it. Load from JSON, get as text. Yeah, we have it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So let me stop here. Wait. Default model to load path? Huh? It failed to load it? Yeah, because they're... Wait a minute, something's not right. Okay. So we go into exports, look at our app config. What is in our app config? Config data, there's the duck. There's the duck. Duck. Something got corrupted. Something got corrupted. Get as JSON load from JSON. Something doesn't seem right. For sure. I'm not sure what though. But something seems very broken. So we go here. Bum bum bum. Full path. Oh, full path. Hold on. Our metadata path. Hold on. Look at that. So we're just kind of very quickly stepping through it. What is our metadata path? Metadata path. Exports. Config formats. What is my config formats? Config formats is string/string.json. So the config name, oh, the config name is null. Wait, why? Okay, sure. Boom, boom. Begin loading config for thing that does not exist. If full path does not exist, sure. Seems bad. You know what? Why don't I just do this? That makes more sense and it would be more readable as well. Begin loading config. Alright, so now our config is slightly broken, but that's okay. So if we do camera select, click on this, nothing should change really. But if we go into our app manager, look at our config manager, default load path, default. I don't think I need some of these. There's some cleanup that needs to be done. So metadata config, camera index 0. I can change this to 1. It doesn't really change anything. We can just look at it and then it changes back when I click on it. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Probably. Yeah. We can go back to our signal broadcaster as well, and we no longer need to print out the value anymore. How nice. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Now we have camera select working, probably. I don't have 2 cameras, so I'll need to go onto like my Linux box and have to figure it out, I guess. Also, is the config not saving anymore? That's something I'm starting to notice. So close that, load it back in. Yeah, the config's not saving. What did I change? What the heck did I change? Git log p. What the heck did I change? So I changed a lot of the metadata stuff, but that shouldn't be a problem. You know what? It might be this part. It might be this part. It might be this part. I'll be right back. I'm losing my mind, dude. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing it. Yeah. Oh my god. Was it these parts? The parts that kind of prevent seg faulting? Is that actually preventing me from reading as well? It might be. It might be these parts. Oh, you know what? You know what? It's probably this. It's probably that. Yeah, like it doesn't matter, right? Like you can do like a raw set and it doesn't matter. Yeah. If the property does not exist, nothing will happen. Yeah. I think that was the problem, and that's why my config files are breaking. It's because we're not actually reading it. We're reading, but we're not actually reading. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's tough. Hate to sound like a broken record, but playing guitar improve your situation. Still a bit off from claiming pivot. Do you want to hear me sing again? Singing stream. I think I've got it. I mean, do you have a song request? I'm open to it, I guess. I think it works. By the way, I'm just dumb, probably. Right, so I can do this. Save config. We can load it back and then verify that we were able to successfully load it back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's all right. I'm willing to say that this will probably work. I still need to figure out why this part doesn't work, which is the kind of the null safety. I suppose it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's just accept the seg fault for now. I don't really have a good answer for that, but I don't think it should happen. I think it's only when loading from, or when reading from JSON. Oh, you know what? No, it was from here. I've already fixed it, and then I unfixed it. I fixed that by doing this instead. So I used to read like the values directly, so direct access. But now that I'm just doing for key and blah blah blah, yeah, that should be fine. I think, probably. Anyways, let's just assume that it will work. Commit all. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Like, finish implementing dropdowns. Finish implementing dropdowns. Git push. Git push force, because I forgot I rebased. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. And so now we can just look at this. I'll submit a PR to my own code. Please give me the stuff. Oh no, there's already a PR open. There we go. So this is ready for review. Look at that. You know, ooh, what was that? Did anyone hear that? Like a, it scared me. Which issue is this? This is camera dropdown, camera selector. So this is number 28. You know what? Let's just send it. I don't know. Ghosts, raccoon. What's ghosts or raccoon? What's ghosts question mark, raccoon question mark? Are those songs or are those I guess sprite requests? I will not be drawing more sprites, but I do have sprites I do need to add to the overlay. That would be fun. Yeah, you know what? Let's see, number 28. The sound? Oh, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not actually listening. I'm not even wearing my headphones right now. I'm just talking straight into the mic. The music is really just kind of to hold you over in the downtime when I'm not actually speaking, you know? What are you talking about? Yeah, the bump. Yeah. I think it'd be unlikely for it to be a raccoon because I live on the 23rd floor. Could be a ghost. It's probably just the people next to me though. They're very loud. Don't know why. Very loud though. It has helped though, ever since I got a brown noise machine. There we go. Send it. Get check out master and get pull. There we go. Look at that. Go back to here. Yes. Camera select. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't really feel like playing guitar, but we can play one song. What's a good song? Because I'm pretty much done for this kind of stuff. Like the ones in council office, the yellow bowl things on the ground. The yellow bowl things on the ground? You're talking about like a brown noise generator? So, 500 miles? What is 500 miles? Is that a song? How delayed is my stream? I'm having trouble communicating. Which sentences were you responding to? 'Cause I've been saying a lot of just very, very different things all at the same time, which makes it a bit difficult, if you can believe that, to maintain a coherent train of thoughts. Bring noise, brown noise generator. 500 miles is sing. Yeah, a brown noise generator. Does a counselor's office have a brown noise generator? Is that a thing that counselor's offices have? It's like a white, you know, brown noise is like a, you know, white noise is like a shh, you know, like the TV static, but brown noise is just the lower spectrum of that. And so I have it hooked into a subwoofer, so it's just, it kind of sounds like I'm just running an AC, a very, very low, a very, very rumbly AC, which is, has done wonders for my mental health in terms of working from home for sure. The stop words from leaving the room. Really? Yeah, I don't know. I've never, I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. I think my school counselor's office just was like just an office, right? Not very complicated. You know, like in before, you know, school counselors, healthcare, U.S. healthcare system, haha. Yeah, no. My schools didn't really have those kind of things, but I suppose it does sound like a thing that a better equipped school would have if mental health or whatever was more of a focus. Alright, I got you. I do need to put on my headphones now, though, to kind of see where we're at in terms of volume. Ah, geez. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. You can also turn on the direct monitor so I can actually hear it as well. since I'm more or less done. 23rd floor must have a great view. It's pretty good. It's on the better side of the town because I'm facing a parking lot, which is kind of annoying, but it also means I don't have to look at anybody. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the tallest building in this part of town as well, which is nice, but that just means that it goes up 36 floors. There's a taller residential building, but that's across the highway. That was rough. Does that sound familiar though? Do you know Chrono Trigger? Any Chrono Trigger songs? It was I think that's not Wind Theme, although I do know Wind Theme as well. I haven't played this one in forever. Oh no, I don't even know how to play it anymore. Oh. Okay, hold on. No, this is one of the more popular ones, but hold on. I should actually pick ones I know how to play, or the ones that I've actually practiced recently. This is the only one I actually play on a regular basis. I think that was like the third fingerstyle song I ever learned, and it was like actually fairly difficult at the time. But eventually I just kind of got better and better at it. So it's kind of my, you know, how I kind of measure myself in terms of how well I can play. Yeah, as you can see, purposely not displaying anything that I'm playing right now to make it seem more impressive. Oh man, is he just playing this from memory? And some of it I am. Oh no. So fast. I rushed really hard during that last part, and then just make it really, really difficult to go back to the the normal part, the intro. Right, because you need to like go like. My fingers don't move that fast. I mean they do, but like it hurts. Or I need to at least anchor my hand a bit more, but I don't play like a normal person. Because when I play, I actually use my pinky, which is somewhat bizarre. I guess that's not how most people are taught. Because playing with your pinky means that you have to find some other way to anchor your arm, right? So if you want to like play it like really fast, like you know, the Kirby song I like to play. Which has a really fast part. Not this one though. This part. Yeah, which is like a, how does it go? Yeah, but at the pace I was going, it would need to be like. Which is hard. Because you need to play triplets. It's not a triplet. It's just three eighth notes really fast. Possibly a 16th note. I don't know. I don't do music notation anymore. What's another song that I don't usually play? This one's really easy, but it sounds really somewhat impressive. But I've never actually played this game either. One of those. Yeah, it's been fun though. I don't think I'm gonna sing. I'm not really feeling it. Not feeling it. Unless you want to hear me sing, you know, anyway, here's Wonderwall. How's Wonderwall go? It's no. One of those. Don't know how the lyrics go. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Working on probably this thing, since there's a lot of bug fixes that still need to be done, and I'm still pretty burnt out from doing just normal game dev stuff. So how's that go? Can't you do the, like, this is a really easy one, like a really easy jam chord. You just do E, move it up 1 fret, move it up 2, and then you can go. No, hold on. No, it's A minor. No, 2 up 2. No. I don't know. You know, if you haven't given the channel a follow already, it would be much appreciated. So, you know, give the channel a follow, join the Discord. Pretty much everything that you see on screen is free and open source, available on my GitHub, which you can find down in the description below. This is OpenCFace GD. This is the program that I was working on stream. You know, doing some pretty weird stuff with it, especially. So if you're interested in like basically like a very plugin style Godot stuff, so everything is loaded in pretty much dynamically, and also is hot reloadable. You can check that out. Available under MIT license. This is not stream avatars. This is just kind of my own thing, which is hooked into channel points, which is also pretty cool. Look at that. Has a lot of other features. Technically, all of these don't need to be green screened either, so, you know, some cool tech there. I am working on a YouTube integration as well, just in case Twitch ever just kind of dies. You know, now that they've been somewhat unwillingly open sourced, shall we say. But yeah, this is free and open source. All these tools were made in Godot, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Actually, we actually have some viewers. I actually gained some viewers when I was just kind of playing some random guitar stuff. So let's find someone to raid. Who shall we raid? Any suggestions? Otherwise, I will find somebody. Go to Twitch. Anyone I know? I don't know. I know he's not really doing any programming, but let's give this man a raid. Raid this person. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Someone playing Rocksmith? Nah. Do people actually play Rocksmith live on stream? We're gonna give It's Rogue Ren a raid. One of the peeps who, I guess, is helping with SEO. But yeah, Get ready to get sent, I guess. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.
My cat is. My cat is sometimes very